Diddy can now be facing the worst penalty known to mankind, the death penalty. And it's not just me that's saying this. This is according to President Donald Trump. We're going to be looking at this video right here where he addresses anyone that is convicted of trafficking, including Diddy. He is no different from any other human being that has been allegedly caught. But if he is convicted for such things, according to Donald Trump, he will be giving them the ultimate penalty, the death penalty. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video right here. And comment down below, do you think this type of penalty is way too extreme? Do you think this shouldn't be a penalty that even any human being should get? Or do you think that a sentencing is good enough? I want to know what you guys think. Let's hear what Donald Trump has to say addressing the trafficking epidemic that's going on within the country.
I was thrilled to host a screening at Bedminster of the important new film, Sound of Freedom, about the power of faith in overcoming evil, and in particular, the evil of child trafficking. Big problem. We had it down to the lowest number in many years just 4 years ago, and now it's gone through the roof. Even though the fake news media has tried to ignore it, Sound of Freedom has been a national sensation and a colossal success at the box office, really big numbers. Everyone should see it. This is a very important film and very important movie, and it's a very important documentary all wrapped up in one. It's really about an issue that has to be discussed. Under my leadership, we did more than any administration.
Yeah, so Sound of Freedom is just a movie that depicts the reality of the trafficking that goes on.
In history to combat human trafficking and to end modern-day slavery. In one of my first acts in office, I signed an executive order targeting transnational criminal organizations that traffic and exploit innocent people. I signed the Frederick Douglass Trafficking Victims Prevention and Protection Reauthorization Act, authorizing $430 million to fight sex and labor trafficking. I signed legislation to crack down on foreign countries who are not meeting standards for eliminating trafficking, of which there are many. I also signed into law the Abolish Human Trafficking Act, which strengthened programs supporting survivors and provided more resources for ending modern slavery. We do have modern slavery, if you can believe it. Additionally, I created the first ever White House position focused solely on combating human trafficking. And perhaps most importantly, we created the most secure border in U.S. history by far, dealing a major blow to the cartels and traffickers. We built hundreds of miles of wall. We renovated hundreds of miles of wall. We never had anything like it. And then I got Mexico free of charge to give us 28,000 soldiers to protect us from people coming into our country illegally. When I am back in the White House, I will immediately end the Biden border nightmare that traffickers are using to exploit vulnerable women and children. We will fully secure the border. I will wage war on the cartels just as I destroyed the ISIS caliphate, 100% gone, 100% destroyed. They'll come back now because we have a weak administration. I will use Title 42 to end the child trafficking crisis by returning all trafficked children to their families in their home countries and without delay. And I will urge Congress to ensure that anyone caught trafficking children across our border receives the death penalty immediately, and that includes also for women, because women, as you know, are number one in trafficking. Children are actually number two. I want to thank Eduardo, Jim, Tim Ballard, and everyone else involved in this film for their incredible efforts and their great genius. Together, we will end the scourge of human trafficking.
So he definitely directed this just towards all traffickers, and he really narrowed in on the people that are trafficking across the border as to why he wants to tighten up the border and the security around it, which, you know what I'm saying, a border is what makes a country. It is what it is, but it's for a reason. We at least know the reason as to why he's tightening up the border. But if that's going to be the penalty for people passing the border, I would assume that that's most likely going to be the penalty, even the trafficking going on within the country. So you're going to have the cartels trafficking people that from out of the country. And then from what I believe, that the most trafficking happens within the country is when it comes to the elites. Because they're the people that have connections. They're the people that could pay off a lot of individuals. And it's already been exposed how Hugh Hefner, the owner of Playboy, he had multiple underground tunnels connecting to his house to other celebrity houses within his vicinity. Underground tunnels. You can easily look this up. Now, just knowing that in itself, why do you have underground tunnels? This is exactly how trafficking goes on. And if you have enough money and enough connections, you can get away with it as long as you want, as Diddy has been doing so.
And we will defend the dignity of human life. Thank you very much.
So that's that video. Now we have another video right here that we're going to watch. It's Elon Musk. He just gives a very logical explanation as to how J-Lo knew everything that Diddy was doing, and she basically has to be held just as accountable. And now I come to find out she's over here trying to flee the country, which we're going to look into in all the whole 9 yards. But just look how Elon Musk breaks this down.
It does feel that way, actually.
Yeah. I'm sure if you go to Diddy's house, it probably feels real weird. Probably feels weird walking around that house. Probably like, what happened here?
Yeah.
I bet there's some memories in that house. You know?
Sounds rough, man.
Well, it's just amazing how many people in the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes.
Wow.
It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend.
It's funny how everyone on the Diddy party list is supporting Kamala when Trump is the one cracking down on the trafficking.
It's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Did you see the Babylon Bees take on it? Did you see the Babylon Bees?
Babylon Bees awesome, but
oh my God, they're so on fire because the left can't say anything. Well, the Onion has been crippled.
Well, the problem is that like the
find that post.
The woke ideology makes like humor illegal.
Yes.
So when like there's so many humor no-fly zones.
Right.
You can't make fun of anything.
Yeah. The Babylon Bee had a thing about Kamala Harris. Diddy's ex-girlfriend urges Americans to trust her judgment. Yeah. By the way, you get to see how bad an actress she is, too. That speech was terrible.
Like if she's going to be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is...
All right, Elon, we get it. That was the second time he made that one statement, which it makes sense, though. She's over here trying to warn people about Trump. Why aren't you warning people about Diddy? We seen her on Instagram Live just like a year or two back, best friends with each other, her and Diddy, when she knew everything that was going down. Everything. She knows.
It's so strange to watch play out. It seems like the Diddy thing was like an Epstein-type compromise deal, where whether he was doing it himself. Conceivably, people want to think that he's attached to some intelligence agency or something like that. I think he's a gangster who made $1 billion and knew how to control people by compromising them. That's what I think. Whether or not he had help, I don't know. Whether or not he shared some of that information with people so they knew they had compromising stuff on people, I don't know. But clearly he was doing it for his own jollies too. There was something sick about it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that people in the music and entertainment industry had to know that Diddy was like abusing, kids basically. And yet they still fed him kids.
That's a fact.
Where's the accountability?
There had to be rumors.
Bruh. No, it's not rumors. We got to think about it. Bring it back to Usher. Who was Usher's first mentor when he was like 12 and 13 years old? Diddy. He was at the Puffy Flavor camp where, you know what I'm saying, to say the least, there was, sex parties, the whole 9 yard. As a 13-year-old Usher experiencing all of this, the club, strip club, he's not even making music. He's literally partying with Puffy. And we all know from Cat Williams, if you want to party with Diddy, you got to say no. You got to say no. But Usher went through that. And then once Usher got older, he went and got little baby Justin Bieber and brought little baby Justin Bieber to Diddy. Literally feeding him kids, feeding him children. And you don't think Justin experienced the same exact, abuse that Diddy does to all of his people? Come on now.
There had to be.
They had to know.
Yeah.
They had to know.
Cat Williams is talking about it on
exactly.
Yeah, on that podcast.
But like who's feeding him the kids?
Right. Yeah.
It's people.
And what videos do they have of these people where they're willing to defend him? And they're willing to keep quiet about all this. Like how many people were compromised?
Yeah.
The whole thing is fucking crazy.
Crazy.
It's just crazy when you know, because the nutty conspiracy theories is like, oh, there's a bunch of pedophiles in Hollywood, and you're like, come on, that sounds too kooky. And then you see like the Nickelodeon thing and all these, and you're like, what the fuck? How much of this is real?
There's a lot more real than I think people realize.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it is like you say, like where, you know, if someone's like a pedophile, they're going to go for a target-rich environment.
Right.
Obviously.
Like that Jimmy Savile guy from the UK.
Man, that guy was some next level. That was next level. And the BBC tried to hide that. That guy was one of the worst, like basically child rapists of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah. And looked like one.
He looked like one.
That's
like,
what's
honestly,
crazy.
If you had a poster of like, does this guy look like a
the creepiest
like
fucking
an
looking guy.
evil child rapist? Then that 100%.
He made it to the grave. Like,
yes.
Got away with it.
Yes.
Got away with it till he died. They hid it from people until he died.
Yes.
That's insane. Got away with it to the grave, but he ain't getting away with it when it comes to the real ultimate judge. The creator of him, the creator of his soul, heaven and earth. He ain't gonna get away with it then. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing gonna be a secret in front of that judge. But, yo, look it. Comment down below, because at the end of the day, Trump said what he said. He made a specific punishment / penalty for individuals that are convicted of such a crime known as trafficking. Now, is this going to be putting Diddy in the death penalty way? Is this something that he's going to be facing? What do y'all think? Comment down below. Or any other thoughts or opinions that popped up in your mind throughout this video. Smash like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one.